All right, requester pays in Amazon S3. So let's say you have a standard S3 bucket and people from outside of your account want to download data from there. So what will happen is they'll send a GET request and they will get the objects that they need, and there'll be data transfer fees and request fees associated with that. They will be paid by your account. Now, if you want to change that around, you can use requester pays. So in this scenario, again, we have user outside, we have your account, and let's say, for argument's sake, you are the research arm of Harvard, and obviously there's no affiliation with Harvard. This is just an example for illustration purposes, and you have large data sets that are very valuable for researchers all around the world, and you want to make them available. But because they're large, you don't want to be paying every single time somebody downloads them. So in this case, you can use requester pays. And what you do here is you set your bucket settings to requester pays equals enabled. And there are two requirements for somebody to be able to download data from a bucket with this setting enabled. First one, they have to have their own AWS account and they have to be authenticated in it. That is so that AWS can accurately track and attribute the costs to somebody, to their account, basically. And then the second requirement is that when they send a GET request, they also have to include a flag in that GET request stating that they accept the charges. So once they have those two prerequisites fulfilled, then they will get the object. There will be a data transfer and request fee associated with that, and that will be attributed to their account. They will need to pay that. So there you go. That's how it works. Quite a straightforward concept. It's very useful for educational or research institutions sharing large data sets. And just remember for the exam, the two prerequisites. First of all, well, the step 0 is you need to enable requester pays in your bucket, and that can be done enabled or disabled on existing S3 buckets at any point in time. And the two prerequisites are that the requester needs to have their own AWS account and need to be authenticated, and also in the GET request, they need to put a flag that they accept the charges. That's all you need to know for the exam. Here's a quick summary of what we discussed. I look forward to seeing you back here next time, and until then, enjoy the cloud.